No, this isn't clickbait. This is real. Hello everyone, it's me, Anna Aldis, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about a very interesting tweet that was tweeted by the director of Sonic Frontiers that actually might hint us that Sonamy might actually happen. Yeah, I know, that was quite unexpected. But yet, as I look further back into everything that has happened in Sonic Frontiers, the less surprising it becomes. Of course, you know, from behind the scenes and a lot of talks and interviews talked about from the developers and in the writings of Sonic Frontiers, one came out talking about how they wanted to work on Amy's character, especially with her feelings for Sonic. Basically saying they did not want it to play out as a joke. They wanted it to be much more genuine, much more real, and to really work on the chemistry between her and Sonic. Which I think they did very well in Sonic Frontiers. Very spot on. It was kind of like watching Sonic Boom and their interactions, because I felt like that was actually pretty solid in that show. And then a lot of the more lovely tweets and clips of comments that Sonic makes in the game, such as these.
Wish we were sharing an umbrella, Amy. Amy, I should have made up my mind sooner.
Of course, obviously have led up to that maybe this was something that could be hinted on, and now this tweet, which seems to kind of confirm that they actually might consider making Sonamy canon. Now, some people think it could possibly be someone else, so I'm hoping that it could be Sally, some wanting it to be Shadow, even though Shadow himself says that he hates the shipping. But the tweet in question is that Sonic is single, but what about lovers? What about Emmy? I'm also looking forward to seeing what kind of love Sonic will have in the future. You don't get more plain, obvious than that. But of course, a lot of people, I feel like the majority of fans are actually really excited for this, because it is something that a lot of fans been wanting, is Sonic and Amy to get together. Including me, I'm not gonna lie, I do ship these two. Admittedly though, I will admit I didn't get much into the shipping itself until Sonic Boom, because I didn't really like Amy before, because I didn't like the over-obsessive personality they gave her feelings for Sonic. But Sonic Boom, they really seemed to fix her character a lot, so I actually really liked Amy. That's when I started shipping them, was because of Sonic Boom, because they really worked on it and they made her character much more than just her liking Sonic. Actually, if there's any universe that they should have gotten together, and it's Sonic Boom, because that was actually pretty fleshed out. They're obviously trying to, either they're trolling or they're actually really considering Sonic being with someone. I think obviously it's going to be Amy if they go with that route. It's something that's been hinted throughout, seems like they hinted a lot of it in Sonic Frontiers, and it's been something that Sega, the Sonic team, the writers, like anyone who's worked with Sonic has joked about for many years, especially in the Sonic takeovers. Every time Amy is mentioned in the Sonic takeovers, they always kind of like find a way to cop out of actually answering if Sonic likes Amy or not, or joking about it. Because, I mean, say what you want about Sega and the Sonic team, they're not unaware. They're very, very aware of what their fandom says and, what they want. It's just not until Sonic Frontiers that they actually, did the shit we wanted them to do. But it's actually, so this kind of is surprising that Sega, it's surprising, but it's also nice that Sega might actually be considering letting Sonic be with someone. Some people not so into the idea, because they rather Sonic just be a single guy or an asexual. Some people hope that he would be with Shadow, even though once again Shadow said he does not like Sonic like that himself, and it's fine though. And other people just head over heels thinking, oh hell yeah, it's about damn time. For me, Sonic is one of those characters where people try too hard to relate to him, when he was never a character that is, like, relatable in the sense that you could see yourself in him. I always thought of him as a character you could strive to be, rather you could relate with, if that makes sense. But I also feel like, especially when it came into the last decade of Sonic, more so the games than the shows and the comic books, is that they kind of committed too far into the bit and made that his only personality was everything is perfect, everything is dandy, and he never can hurt at all. which was nice to see him struggle in Sonic Frontiers a little bit, and him being a bit more mature about everything going on. So to see them going to a route where they can give him slightly more of a personality is nice. So my thoughts on how they should go about it, if they are going to put Sonic and Amy together. I mean, I guess this can apply to anyone he goes with, but if they really want Sonic Amy to work, the thing they really need to do is, for starters, not rush it. Don't make it sound look like a fanfic, or make it or just don't do it just because the fans want it. Do it because it can work in the story. Do it because it's something that has been developed and proper with really good chemistry. It's possible. It's been like, there are tons of comic books and channels that have done chemistries between these two that have worked very well. You know, it's just, you have to not rush it. You got to make sure it's fleshed out, as I said. And it's interesting because despite the fact that Sega has treated Sonic himself so poorly with how restrictive they made him in the games, it's also, interestingly enough, a really great way to make the shipping work, is that have Amy be the one to bring out a lot of the emotions that Sonic has not been able to share the last years. Like, that is actually something they can go with. Killing two birds with one stone. Having Sonic be a little bit more emotional and sharing his thoughts, and making the shipping work, since Amy could be the one to kind of help bring that side out of him. Because that's when usually a shipping, or, you know, you can see a shipping being very compatible, is when they do something with each other that they don't usually do with other people. Or they bring the best parts out of them that not other people can. And I feel like Amy being the one to bring out a lot of those emotions, his thoughts in Sonic Forces, with him being imprisoned for 6 months, not exactly knowing what was going on in the world, some of the struggles he went with Sonic Frontiers, what it was like with the corruption, him actually being fully corrupted, and some of the conversations they could bring up with the Coco, the Coco that Amy befriends itself, finding its lost love, and more on that. Just more of moments like that where Sonic could vent to her or be more honest. Or if you want to do something that a lot of shows in, you know, movies and games don't do, is have Amy just tell Sonic the truth and be like, yeah, after going through all of that, I kind of realized that I see myself a lot in the Coco, that I just had this feelings that I've hid for so long that I was always scared to tell you, and now I'm just gonna tell you I like you. Try something like that. I mean, I wish more shows would do that, actually. And, or just something beyond those lines. I feel like that if you really want this shipping to work, is that Amy has to bring out a side of Sonic that has not been brought out before, or hasn't been brought out in a long time. And ironically, Sega has actually given them the best way to do it. If the person who wrote Sonic Frontiers is also going to continue writing for Sonic Frontiers or any future Sonic games, then definitely we'll probably be all right, because Ian pretty knows how to write these characters, and he really does care about them. So I'm sure if he was to write something between Amy and Sonic, it would actually be pretty decent. I'm confident in that. So overall, I think they should do it. I personally just think they should do it. I think that Amy has had a lot of ups and downs, but definitely a lot more ups, especially from Sonic Boom to, she was in Forces, but definitely much more better in Sonic Frontiers. I think that it's time. I feel like they've hinted at it long enough. I feel like it's something that a lot of fans been wanting, and I feel like if it's done right, it could be very beneficial to Sonic as a character, and just something, you know, just different, you know, for him. It can work. I know it can work if they do it well, but that's just my take on the whole thing. I know everyone else is different. A lot of people ship different people with Sonic, but I think if they really want to go for it, I think Amy is it's the best contender. But what do you think? You think Sonic should go with Amy? You think this post is just a troll to get people riled up? Or do you think Sonic is just better living the single life? And with that being said, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. I post videos as often as I can. I am definitely really shocked that this actually might be happening, and Sega might be letting this happen. Yeah. But I'm okay. I'm looking forward to it. They definitely seem to be hinting at it. And Sonic and Amy are they're really cute together. And a lot of fans really seem to like them. I don't know what it is, but it's beautiful. And as always, till next time, bye-bye.